Are you thinking about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina because you heard someone say moving down south is much cheaper? Or you just really want to know the cost of living in North Carolina? Well, you're going to want to stick around for this one because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. What's up everyone, Ronnie here. If this is your first time on this channel and you want to know everything about Raleigh, North Carolina, well, first off, you're in the right place. Second off, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and the bell so you are notified every time we do a video and you don't miss a beat. You know, we get these phone calls from individuals all the time, whether they're looking for more information or whether they're actually moving to the area, and we absolutely love it. You know, one thing we really do well is we welcome everybody with welcome arms. So come on down and don't be shy. So if you're one of those individuals either looking for more information or actually moving to the area, give us a call, shoot us a text or email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. I got your back in this market. So before I get started, I do want to say if you are watching this video at a later date outside of 2022, please have an asterisk by this video and everything that I'm saying, because of course all the data and information I have been collecting has been based off of 2022. And with that being said, you know how I like to do things, don't like to waste time, so we're going to jump straight into it. But thanks to the Triangle Business Journal, because that's where most of my information came from. With that being said, the average cost of living in Raleigh, North Carolina was really around $3,200, and that was about a 10.5 increase from the year before. So I'll let you sit on that for a bit and you can think on that and see how that all correlates to you. But I'm not going to end it there. I got more information for you. The Raleigh's Metro monthly cost of living increased by 12.6% between 2019 and 2022. Now that's about a $300 increase. Now you're probably thinking, well, what is even causing all the increase? I mean, let's not talk about what's going on in the world with inflation. That's its own little battle. But obviously here in North Carolina, Raleigh specifically, we've had a lot of people come here, move here in the Raleigh area, specifically for homes, obviously, because they need somewhere to stay. With homes, jobs, you have a lot of different things coming into the area. So first and foremost, I personally believe that the housing market has truly indeed accelerated, has played a huge factor in all of this in terms of the cost of living going up. And I was able to find another cool thing for you guys so you guys can kind of see how is it that the housing market is affecting the cost of living in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I was able to find this cool interactive chart that I will be able to show you guys here that showed what is the rents going for first. I think we'll start there and then we'll gradually increase the information as time goes on. But as you can see here, the rents is about $1,600 to about $1,800-$1,900 a month. Now that all depends on the area that you're living in, but here based off of this chart here, you can see all the different things and all the different area codes and zip codes that are charging, just, you know, based off of this median rate chart here. Now as far as homes, what are homes typically going for? The median price has been about $417,000, and that is about 17% up from the year before. I mean, hey, the numbers say it itself. I mean, just look at it. When you have real estate going up 17% in just a year beforehand, good for all the homeowners, not so good for the people that are actually looking to purchase. However, real estate typically averages about 7 to like 9%, and in a year you see 17%. I mean, you can kind of see what has been trending, what has been leading the space of increasing the cost of living here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, as far as salaries, of course, this is going to be a large range. This is going to depend on what you do as a profession and what do you do in general, and obviously what position are you truly indeed in. However, I have seen on average the median to be for salaries, and this is all after tax, for one individual could bring in about $4,500 a month to about $5,000. Now, of course, again, this is based off of what you do. Could be less, could be more, obviously depending on what it is that you're doing to serve the community or serve whoever corporation, business, or whatever you got going on, right? If you're someone who loves to try new foods, this one's gonna hurt you the most. because food has been increasing, and this is all external things that are going on in the world that Raleigh, North Carolina cannot control. So obviously food increasing has had a lot of pressure on those business owners, those restaurants, those individuals within the food industry. So yes, that number at the moment, it has been about $500. Now this is for a single person. I hope at this point you're wondering, did this man just say $500 for food? Now, I was just kidding. I just had to make sure to keep you guys on your toes at all times. I mean, realistically speaking, for a single person, you could spend about $200, $250. First off, it all depends on where you're going to shop, one, and then also what you're essentially buying. But it's realistic. It's not that expensive, but you're of course going to deal with everything external that's going on in this world, with food prices going up and, you know, us not having control of anything. But it's not that bad, in my personal opinion, from at least the way I budget and the way I go about purchasing food. Now, for transportation, specifically because Raleigh is primarily, you know, you're driving yourself around, you can use public transportation. That's if you're really in the city, downtown of Raleigh. Otherwise, just start your car up and get to where you got to get to, because you're not public transportation isn't well developed here, so you're gonna have to rely on yourself a lot. I will say though, during the entire environment where gas is, you know, just skyrocketing and going high consistently, Raleigh thankfully has not seen $5, and I definitely should knock on some wood here, right? Because we don't want to see that at all. However, and I'm just talking about regular. I'm talking about regular 87 has not seen that $5 mark. Now let's hope it stays that way, because I personally don't want that problem, and I'm sure you don't want that problem as well, because if anything, if it does start to increase and go up even more and just get out of hand, then of course the cost of living, and especially for transportation wise, just continues to go up even more. So let's discuss the utilities. Now, of course, this is going to vary based off of how many people are in your home, how large your home, how hot you like your home, how cold you like your home. So this is a tough one to kind of give you an exact number and to say, hey, I have never seen anything outrageous in terms of a bill that comes in and it's like, what in the world is happening here? I haven't seen that. I haven't experienced anyone that has as well. So definitely keep that in consideration. However, if you are somebody that likes your house extremely cold or cool, I should say, you know, we do have longer periods of summer, hot, warm, hot weather. So that is something you're going to primarily use. So maybe offset it, right? During the winters, you don't have it extremely hot. You have it a bit cooler, so that when the summer does come around, you can kind of equal it out to make it worth the dollar amount, or worth the cost of what it is that you'll be essentially spending every month to keep your utilities going. However, again, there is no number out there that I think is personally can say like this is what you're going to expect, because it's going to vary, and I would hate to give you guys a number that now you're like, well, my bill isn't this much, what the heck is going on? I just want you guys to understand the fact that yes, there are longer summers here. So if you are a person that is, you know, that likes your house really cool or really cold, whatever the case may be, you know, you may want to make some adjustments during the fall and during the winter. Now, as far as healthcare, that is going to be pretty affordable. It's actually better than pretty much all of North Carolina and the entire nation itself, because given that we do have UNC and Duke here, which are two great schools for the healthcare industry, it's always going to help with just being innovative and helping keeping the costs as low as possible here. So yes, you do have the advantage of making sure your health is always good, but of course you still want to do the necessary things, like, you know, just going on walks. I think something as simple as that can help reduce even the amount of healthcare and how much it actually costs for you. So let's talk about the one uncle everybody hates, Uncle Sam. Taxes. Yes, of course there's taxes everywhere, and here in Raleigh, North Carolina specifically, the way that the taxes are structured, you have your sales tax, of course, which is anything that you purchase, you can immediately just add on a 7.25%, and that's essentially your total for whatever it is that you purchase. As far as income tax, you are looking at about a 5.25%. Now, property taxes, the way property taxes work here is broken down between the Wake County, which is obviously the county, and then the city, which is Raleigh. Not every city has that breakdown like that, but Raleigh being, you know, a city, a major hub, they have it broken down that way. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 0.6% that goes to Wake County and 0.3552% that goes to Raleigh. So essentially it's like 0.95, something of that nature. We'll do the math and I can show you guys just so you guys can see it, but That's essentially how the taxes here in North Carolina is broken down. Given everything we talked about today, and maybe everything that you have already seen, I just kind of want to sum up everything, and I kind of say two stats that may just make everything that I already said make sense a little bit more. So Raleigh did not actually end up on the top 10 most expensive cities in the United States, which is definitely a plus, because if that's the case, you're saving yourself some coins there. And it also did not end up on the top 3 list of most expensive cities in North Carolina. So there you go. You're giving yourself 2 checks if you move to Raleigh, North Carolina. And of course, if you are thinking about it, please give me a call, text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. And whatever question that you may have, I'm more than happy to answer it and help you navigate through whatever it is that you're trying to do within, whether it's real estate, whether it's just seeking for more information. I'm here as your resource. I got your back in this market. In addition to everything else though, I did want to leave one last resource that is specifically talking about the living wages in North Carolina. You can actually check that down in the description below, in which I left it there for you to really dive deep into, kind of break it down. If you're analytical like myself at all, you're going to find this really helpful, because it breaks down essentially, you know, the cost of one individual, or even if you're raising a family, or maybe you're just trying to bring more individuals down with you, to kind of understand and look at the numbers and know exactly what you should be expecting. And this is a source by MIT, so if you know MIT, you know they're credible and they do all the research necessary to make sure that they're good.